Yeah, I strongly felt lonely when I came to Tokyo. I could notice that everyone here feel lonely. Yeah, and knowing this made me feel safe. I want to research the virtual reality. Yeah, because at the time I really wanted to run away from real life. You know?
This is Bachelor Japan. Welcome back to Tokyo State of Mind. We're here to make you feel great and to make you feel connected to the life in Japan by sharing authentic experiences and stories of people living here. Today's guest is my senpai from aikido, Riku Otono, who is a very accomplished person of his age by Japanese standards. He is a Tokyo University student. He is a very, very active and accomplished aikido player that sometimes annoys the whole club. And he's also a former contestant for Mr. Todaisei, which is a beauty pageant that Tokyo University holds every year. And at the same time, he feels lonely. Today, we're going to talk about that it's normal to be lonely in Japan. As you know, maybe if you Googled and you have some Japanese friends, they told you about how Japanese culture can feel cold sometimes. So on today's episode of Tokyo State of Mind, we're going to explore why Japan is a lonely country and how people living here are feeling about it. So welcome, Riku.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to this special, wonderful, crazy podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, right?
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad that you're here today as well. Yeah, and one thing that I definitely wanted to start off this podcast is I remember when on the first day when I met you back in Aikido Dojo, I definitely felt welcome from all the members, and you were one of them. So one thing that I noticed about you is that you are very empathetic towards other people and
thank you.
Super helpful, especially for the newcomers from other countries. And I felt like this is something that you do because you yourself are not from Tokyo.
Yeah.
So can you tell about what was it like when you came to Tokyo and from your hometown? Did you feel lonely at the beginning?
Yeah, I strongly felt lonely when I came to Tokyo because the environment and atmosphere is totally different from my hometown. And I had few friends. And the environment is big problem for me. So, my hometown, there are many nature. So I can see a lot of nature. But in Tokyo, exactly there is something forest or something park. So we can enjoy nature. But Tokyo's nature is something artificial.
Yeah. Right? Even if you go to the parks, everything is so clean, right?
Yes.
Too clean. Too clean.
Yes, I can't enjoy it deeply. Yeah.
Because everything is so perfect.
Yeah. So the environment, the difference of environment made me feel lonely something. Yeah, I think. And the atmosphere, it's very important thing. Yeah, I'm from Mie prefecture, and my high school is in Nara, and I used to go to Osaka in holiday. So the Mie, Nara, and Osaka, and this area is called Kansai. You know?
Oh, yeah, of course I know.
Yeah, and Kansai is the culture is totally different from Tokyo's one. You know, so. You can realize the difference of this culture when you take a taxi.
Okay.
When you take a taxi in Tokyo, the driver talk nothing, like robot. So but you take a taxi in Kansai, the driver talk a lot. What did you do today? And what we will do? And this is my favorite restaurant. Yeah, and you can know all things from the of the driver when you take off the taxi. Yeah.
So by the time when you reach the destination, the driver already knows everything about your life.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. In Kansai, there is a culture that you can talk easily. Something you can talk to others easily, but in Tokyo, it was very difficult for me. So I felt lonely.
And it's interesting that so for foreigners who come here, we of course we come from a different country and we don't really know anyone and we don't know the culture, and we definitely feel lonely at the beginning too, if we're not really used to environment. But it's something that I definitely wanted other people to know, like knowing you and other guys from aikido and Todai, that even it's crazy that even for the Japanese people coming, living here your whole life, if you move to another town, you still have almost the same challenges.
I think it's normal things. So, for example, you're from Kyrgyz.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your hometown is the capital city. Yeah. So I think the people from countryside and living in the capital, a big city, feel the same thing. I think.
Yeah, so, maybe that's true. But in general, back in my country, people are more sociable. So I think it's much easier to make friends. And Kyrgyz people, unlike Japanese people, have a lot of relatives in every single town. So even if you go to a new place, you will find some family to be there for you. That's what happens.
For me, it was very difficult to talk to other people. Yeah, first time. And
why do you think it was difficult for you to make friends when you just got to Tokyo?
This is my problem, that I'm not good at jumping the community. So
you more prefer to create your own community, right?
Yeah.
But how did you end up in Aikido club if you say that you have problems in joining new communities?
So Aikido club is very, very small. Yeah. So I could jump in, but the first I chose the very big Aikido club. Yeah, and when I joined this Aikido club, there is a very strict culture. Yeah, and for example, when the master teach the Aikido techniques, and we had to sit and only listen, focus on listening and watching. But I wanted to move my shape, because this is a practice. So I moved, but my senpai and other people said me that please sit down, and so you have to obey this rule of this community. But I couldn't join. But the Aikido club now I'm belonging, you too. It's very, very small, and it's like something I felt family or something. So yeah, I could join. So
definitely, it feels a lot like a family in the way how people are caring about each other. And also from the beginning, I liked how it was a very relaxed atmosphere.
Yeah.
How often it happens when you go join a circle and people, when they introduce themselves, they're using the first names, not the last names. I definitely, when I came and the people started telling me their first names, I was like, wow, that's so cool.
Oh
yeah, because I felt like the distance was much shorter. So what at some point I remember hearing the stories that the beginning for you back here in Tokyo, when you just came, was very crazy. You even were swimming in a Sumida river.
No. Yeah, I remember I was swimming from the Odaiba to Tokyo Shinbashi.
What?
Yeah, I remembered.
What? Why
Wearing
did
doggy. Yeah, I was upset.
That was so
I felt loneliness, and then I was swimming the Tokyo Bay.
interesting.
Visiting. Yeah.
But that's a long way from Odaiba to Shimbashi.
Yeah, it's a very, very long journey. Yeah, very long journey.
Wow, I see. But besides these crazy things, what you actually did to feel less lonely here? Like,
Okay. I talked with many, many people, and this made me feel comfortable. Yeah, and I could notice that everyone here feel lonely. Yeah, and knowing this made me feel safe and comfortable.
That's true. I think it definitely helps when you know that somebody else is like, just coming here. I kind of don't feel comfortable, sitting in my room like by myself. Well, maybe we can go somewhere or have. I think like the worst part when you come here is when you want like. Sometimes there are days, because I talk to some students and they tell me this, like, I sit in my room like the whole day, and then next day I wake up and I realize that, and I start talking to someone and I realize that it's the first time I'm hearing my voice like for many, many days. Okay, so my next question for you was, what do you think? Why do you think like there's such an huge issue of loneliness here in Japan? Is it related to Japanese culture or to?
When I go to the Spain, and in the morning, I went to the cafeteria, and everyone enjoying the conversation. Hey, what's up? Like this. But in Japan, there's no such a culture. I think this is a big difference from between the Japan and other country. But even in Japan, the countryside, they can enjoy the conversation because everyone know each other. But Tokyo is very strange place, I think. Everyone don't know, and so you feel lonely more strongly in Tokyo, I think.
I was always also thinking that it might be related to the fact that here in Tokyo also the apartments and everything is just so small for people like to live together, like, and even like back in the dormitory where I lived, it looked in some ways it looked like a jail. It didn't look like the place that was friendly for people to communicate, to just chit chat and stuff. And there were a lot of like rules, like be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. Like, so some people wanted like to celebrate parties or celebrate like submission of their thesis, but they had to also go with the strict rules. And I think that's something that we feel as foreigners at the beginning as unwelcoming. A lot of rules.
I think Japanese people like be quiet. Shh.
Yeah, but you're never quiet on the train. Never. You're the loudest person. And I remember that like when we were in the train, people just were like looking at you and like just like I think they look at you all the time because you're always like loud. So how do you feel about that?
Actually, I don't care. Actually. But I know I have to be quiet, especially in public space. Everyone don't listen to other people's conversation. I think but for me, I really like to listen to other people's conversation. So because so my hobby is going to cafeteria and listen to other people's conversation.
What was the most interesting conversation that you have eavesdropped? Someone killed someone?
No. Japan is a very safe country.
Okay. No, never.
So something, I think I like something problem. For example, divorce. Or
divorce? What?
Money problem. Some people talk about such a thing in cafeteria, and I really like listen to such.
Oh my gosh, you're such a drama queen, Riku. It's crazy. Okay, Speaking about drama queen, so I have this.
No way.
So, as I told before, you were the participant of Mr. Todaisei
When I was freshman.
in 2016, and I got this pamphlet
I think
from
it's 5
our
years
common
ago.
friend.
No.
And the most interesting part is that what's going to happen, what are your plans? So you said you're going to be homeless, and now it's 2021, and we all know that you've been homeless last year. So how did it happen?
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of money, and yeah, I could ask my parents that please give me money, and I'm not money, and I had to take the exam of graduate school, so I had to study hard. So I didn't have enough time to earn money, but I didn't want to say my parents that please give me my money, because my parents took a lot of time and money for me to enter the University of Tokyo and live in Tokyo. So I became homeless. Very, very short time. Very, very short time.
How many weeks? I think it was more than months.
I forgot. But now I'm not homeless, and
I see. I'm glad. But what I want to bring with that is, like what you're writing about, you should be very careful because it happens. So next time, don't write something that you want to be homeless, because it's gonna happen. I see. So you went from homeless to now entering the graduate school to study AI. How did this transition happen?
But I think the homeless, when I was homeless, I was really disappointed. And at the time, I thought, I want to research the virtual reality. Yeah, because at the time, I really wanted to run away from real life.
I see.
Yeah. And virtual reality can help me. I thought, and I could overcome this difficult situation thanks to my friends, including you. But for some people to overcome the serious situation, it's really, really hard.
Because they don't want to speak about it, right? They don't feel like...
exactly.
They don't want to get... They are afraid to get help or to admit that they failed at something.
And it's hard to say, but some people choose the suicide, for example. If virtual reality can help such a people, I want to research, and I want to improve this field. So I selected the virtual reality, and I switched my field. Now I'm measuring economics, but I decided to learn about virtual reality.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I think it's also something that is not really easy to do, is to switch from social science to DK, which is
DK, science, technology.
So what do you think helped you find your way and and tackle the issues with loneliness and being lost in life? What do you think would be your advice for people out there who feel lonely in Japan, both Japanese and foreigners?
Okay. Always when I feel loneliness, I talk to other people. Talking to other people, I think you can talk with friends, family, or grandparents. It's okay, I think. And talking with other people, it's really help you, I think. And if you are afraid of talking about yourself, but don't worry, the other people listen to your talk, sincerely. So I recommend you to talk with the other people more and enjoy the conversation.
That's true. Yeah. Well, you can actually enjoy this conversation.
So you are doing the podcast?
Yes.
So you don't feel the loneliness?
No, I don't feel anymore, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because with the podcast, it's so much fun right now. And definitely one thing that I'm trying to push is that even this podcast, it's not something that me and Katya are just doing. There are so many people are helping us behind the scenes, to whom I'm very grateful. So, and when it comes even with the podcast, like we actually are speaking to many people. Like so even today I have a call like with another YouTuber, like to ask her to explain me some things. So that's why if you're watching this episode and you feel lonely, we wanted you to know that it's okay to feel lonely, and it's okay to feel lonely here in Japan. And let us know in the comments what you think about this episode, what you're going through. We'll be happy to get the feedback from you and know what kind of subscribers we have. So thank you so much for always supporting and watching Tokyo State of Mind. As always, we're gonna bring you the best stories to make you feel good about your life in Japan. And we're gonna see you next week. Bye bye.
Don't forget subscribe.